Are you vulnerable to financial exploitation and fraud? What are the signs and how can you recognize them? Well, here to help us is Paul Greenwood, an AARP Fraud Watch Network expert. Aloha, Paul.
Aloha. Good to see you, Davey. Thank you.
All right. Now, you're in beautiful, sunny California right now. You're coming to sunny Hawaii next week for a series of in-person Fight Fraud Together seminars. And before we share that information, Paul, can you give us a little bit about your background?
Sure. Originally, I was a lawyer in the United Kingdom in southern England. I married well. I married a beautiful young lady from San Diego. And after a few years, she said, I got to go back home. So we moved to San Diego. And for 25 years, I was fortunate enough to be a prosecutor in the district attorney's office. And of those 25 years, Davey, I spent 22 years prosecuting only crimes committed against older adults, primarily financial fraud cases.
Wow, so you truly are an expert. And as we mentioned, you are going to be here in Hawaii to teach a series of in-person workshops on how to recognize warning signs of financial exploitation and scams. Now, what kind of scams are you going to be covering in these seminars?
Well, we're going to cover a whole variety. It's basically to provide some tips on how to stay safe or reduce the risk of becoming a victim. Unfortunately, the fraudsters out there are using very creative means to try to trick people into sending money. So we will be looking at the latest scams and frauds created through artificial intelligence, the grandma scam, the sweepstakes, kidnappings, and other traditional ones that have been around a long time. The important thing that I've learned in the courtroom over these many years is that education and awareness is a key to preventing so many of these frauds from occurring.
You know, just reading about the things that you're going to be covering and speaking about at the seminars, I am so interested in going to this, especially because we have a lot of elderly, or kupuna as we say in Hawaii, here in the islands. In fact, we just had a recent scam involving Carrie Underwood tickets. Somebody was scammed out of $9,000. So it is very prevalent here. So who should attend these seminars, Paul?
And it's not just to older adults. We would like it to be open to anybody and everybody. Adult children of older adults need to be at this meeting. They need to understand things that they can do. For example, I often get asked, Davey, by an adult child, well, what can I do to help my mom stop becoming a victim? And I say, have you thought about writing a letter to your mother's bank or credit union and let them know that, for example, there's a caregiver who's now coming into the home? It's things like that, practical tips that we want to share with older adults, younger people. You know, there's no age limit to what we can share.
Wow, this is amazing. So it really is for everyone. Now, do you have the information on how people can sign up? Because you got to register. I know there are just a few seats left for some of these seminars, and you're going to be going to several different islands. Do you have that information on how people can sign up, Paul?
Yes, the best way is actually online. If you can get online and simply go to aarp.org/local, and then it will bring you to the AARP website, and you just type in your zip code, and it will then list the location on the island and the time and ask you to register. And so I'm really hoping that more people will join us. We want to be at capacity everywhere we go. It's an exciting itinerary. And please, we don't want anyone to feel embarrassed. I'm not going to be calling out anybody, not going to be pointing the finger. We just want to encourage people to take the information, ask questions, and share information that they may have gathered, which I may not be aware of, so that we can all learn more as we go on. And I hope it will be a fun, interactive session, 2-hour session. And I'm just thankful to AARP for organizing these events.
Absolutely, Paul. Thank you so much. And we had all the information up on our screen as you were speaking of how to register. We also have information at kitv.com/links. Please attend if you can. It'll be awesome. Paul, so wonderful to speak to you. Travel safely, and we'll see you next week right here in Hawaii.
We're looking forward to it. Aloha. Thank you so much.
Aloha.